Good morning, friends.
We have a very exciting day ahead of us.
Yeah, we're gonna go head up to the very northern tip of Norway, and we're going to go on a bird safari, and then we're also going to see the Nordkapp, or the North Cape. So stick around. We're Karin and Jeremy, an average couple with average jobs and limited vacation time. When we take trips, we have 1 or 2 weeks, 3 if we're lucky, and we want to see and do as much as possible when we travel. Join us as we maximize our vacation time on Mapping It.
We started our day with a scenic drive from Alta to Magerøya. This island is just off the coast of mainland Norway and connected by an underwater tunnel. The island has tons of wildlife, and it can be fun to try to spot different animals along the way. On our drive, we saw so many reindeer, birds, whales, and even some playful otters. Be sure to make time in your schedule to stop and enjoy the views. Magerøya is a small island with steep coastline and sparse vegetation, but the western part of the island is a little different. Gjesvær is a small town on the western coast, and instead of steep cliffs, there are gently sloping hills. The coast is protected by surrounding islands, and it's known as being home to one of Norway's largest bird colonies with hundreds of thousands of birds.
Well, we made it to Gjesvær. We decided last minute that we were coming here, and we have bought tickets to Ola's bird safari. There should be many birds. We're gonna get on a boat and hop over to a couple islands, and we should be able to see some birds. Should be pretty good.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
It's not a super large boat, but it'll work.
And we're off. Well, we already saw our first bird and we barely left the harbor, so hopefully that's a good sign and a trend that keeps going.
There was plenty of room to spread out on the boat, but most people gathered on the right side for the best views. The captain and staff spoke several languages and talked about the different birds we were seeing, so we learned quite a bit on this trip.
Black and white birds are the razorbill. There's a lot of birds.
There's a lot of birds. What do you think?
I think there's a lot of birds in the water in the distance. There's definitely more birds than I've seen at one place.
Wow, just look at all of them.
There's an eagle in the distance.
On the right hand side you can see a seal.
So cute.
Gannet colony.
Puffins nest in cliffs, and they build their nests in these tunnels that are about 1 to 2 meters long where they lay their eggs. It's pretty crazy. Didn't know that birds could make tunnels.
Yeah, didn't know they could dig.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
This rock looks like a face. You can see the nose sticking out to the left. People call it the witch. We're just finishing up the tour, heading back to the pier. Saw a lot of cool birds, had some nice weather. I think it was a good time.
Yeah, apparently we saw every possible thing we could have seen, which is amazing. We saw puffins and seagulls and eagles and kittiwakes and razorbills and guillemots and just a bunch of other things. We also saw some seals that were lounging on some rocks, sunning themselves, which was pretty cool. I'd say this tour was highly worth it. Well, for a last-minute trip and a last-minute decision to go on this bird safari, I'd say we made a fantastic choice.
Oh yeah.
The price was very reasonable, considering that we're out there for about an hour and a half. So this bird safari takes a boat out to a nature preserve just offshore, and we go around the entire preserve, which is just a series of islands. We went clockwise around the islands. If you're on the right side, you have a closer view than if you stand on the left. And we see a ton of birds. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
There are no words.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that could have improved the experience was maybe to bring some binoculars.
Yes, which is ironic because we actually have binoculars and we bought them specifically for the trip.
But this was so spur of the moment that we didn't remember to bring them.
Yeah. Overall, what a wonderful experience, I'd say.
Well, we're back in the car and now we're heading to the North Cape. The landscape is so unlike anything we've seen so far in Norway. It's very barren, there's no trees or other vegetation. It's just very moon-like.
We made it to the North Cape in northern Norway, the northernmost point that you can drive to on continental Europe. Woo! There's a little bit of dispute because there are other areas that also claim to be the northernmost point in continental Europe, but this is the one that we are at.
So it's the best. So let's go explore.
Yeah, it should be cool.
There is a point to the left of Nordkapp that is about a mile further north, but you have to hike there, and it was never a point of reference for sailors. However, it does have great views of Nordkapp, so it could be worth it to check out if you have time. People have lived in this area for thousands of years, but it wasn't known to the outside world until 1553, when a British expedition was searching for a northeast passage to Asia. They encountered this remarkable promontory and gave it the name North Cape. It was added to sea charts and world maps, and sailors across the world knew about it. North Cape is a cliff that's 307 meters tall and plunges into the icy water below.
If all you want to do is come to the North Cape and see the edge and the cool globe statue, you can park for free and walk around the building, and on the back side of the building is the Cape, and you can access it for free, and you don't need to pay a thing. If you want access to toilets, the cafe, the gift shop, the post office, or any of the exhibits that they have, you have to pay the fee to enter, and then you'll get a nice little sticker like we have, and the sticker will grant you access for 24 hours. Behind me is the Children of the World Monument. 7 children from countries around the world, including the United States, all joined together at the North Cape, spent a week here, and did some drawings representing peace and hope. And those drawings were turned into the monument you see behind me in 1989. Let's go into the Welcome Center.
The Welcome Center has a lot of amenities, including a massive gift shop that we had to check out.
What are you doing?
Trying out a yaka.
Weren't you just the person that said, who comes to a gift shop and buys things that are not related?
Related.
What did you do?
In an unlikely scenario, I spent more money than Karin at the gift shop.
Look at that. You bought a jacket.
Yeah.
After dropping things off at our car, we went back to the Welcome Center to explore and learn some history about the North Cape.
The first tourist to the North Cape was Francesco Negri from Ravenna, Italy, in 1664. That's kind of crazy.
That's pretty early on.
That's so early. I was not expecting that. On one of the lower levels is an exhibit of the history, which is pretty cool to see. And they have some photos from long ago when the King of Norway visited. And this is really interesting. I believe the ships would come into the water, and then everyone would have to climb to the top. And then they'd go see the end of the world, basically.
Traveling to the North Cape is such a big deal that some people celebrate by having champagne. They even have a special champagne area for you to drink your champagne. The tradition of having champagne toast goes all the way back into the 1800s.
The Visitor Center at the North Cape has a lot of exhibits with a ton of information. There's even one about a battle that took place in 1943 during the occupation of Norway. It was pretty intense. They actually had a battle here in the Arctic Sea in winter, like as in pitch black night, as all day, 24 hours a day. That's intense. And there's a great exhibit about that as well. Other things that the Visitor Center has are a cinema where they show a 30-minute movie about the North Cape throughout the seasons. So you can also see like the northern lights in winter, midnight sun in summer. They also have a restaurant and bar. There's even a chapel here. So I think maybe you could get married. It's kind of funny to think about. But I think right now we're gonna head outside to check out the Cape.
The main attraction.
Yes, the main attraction. Let's go. We are officially outside exploring the North Cape. Oh, it looks like fog is coming in. There's like a cloud over there.
Should we be worried?
I mean, not us personally. The fog won't hurt us.
Well, let's go check out the main attraction.
Yeah, let's check out the main attraction before it's covered by fog. Apparently bad weather is very common on the North Cape. Fog, even in peak summer, is not unheard of. We are not in peak summer, but for the record,
We're in peak spring.
expect bad weather on your trip. And if you are granted a nice day, just be thankful for it. Behind us is the Barents Sea. There's nothing.
Nothing out there.
Nothing out there. Svalbard is out there. And the North Pole is out there. And that's about it. Pretty cool.
After enjoying the views, we headed back inside to warm up.
Well, one exciting thing about coming to the North Cape, or Nordkapp, is that they have a post here. You can buy postcards in the gift shop, and they also sell stamps. That's exactly what we did. Filled it out, and now I'm gonna mail from 71 degrees north. That's pretty cool. There it goes.
It's all up to chance now.
Yes, I have high hopes. And now let's get some food.
The cafe has several food options. They have some pastries and self-serve Norwegian waffles, which sound really good, and maybe we'll go back for one of those. And the thing that we got, hot dogs or grillpølse. They literally grill the bun. Can you see this
Yeah, that's
texture
nice.
here? And then we topped it with ketchup, mustard, and crunchy onions.
That sounds good.
Norwegians love their hot dogs, and I don't blame them because the hot dogs here are so good. There's just something about European hot dogs that's just different and also very good. If you have the chance to get a hot dog in Europe, do it. They are good.
We're back at the cafe, and we got a little bit of dessert this time. A fresh made Norwegian waffle, and something special about Norwegian waffles is that they're always heart-shaped, which is just so wonderful. And we've topped it with strawberry jam. Other common toppings are having it with brunost and jam, like the brown cheese and jam is a very common topping. Also sugar and butter. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Nothing like a buttery strawberry waffle for dessert.
Our main goal at Nordkapp was to stay up and watch the sunset. We visited in summer during the time of the midnight sun when the sun never sets, and we wanted to see it for ourselves. We claimed a spot with a great view and set up our tripod to take some photos. It was a real conversation starter, and a lot of people stopped to talk. We were outside for several hours and had a lot of fun taking photos and enjoying this bucket list experience. The last photo might be our all-time favorite.
It's midnight at the North Cape.
And the sun's still out.
Sun's still out, sun's never setting. We're staying for the sunset and then the sunrise, which happens like immediately after.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy how bright it is right now.
And how many people there are. Oh man, this is so cool. This has been a bucket list of mine, so I'm so glad we're here. Well, thanks for sticking around with us as we explore the North Cape, and we will see you in the next one. Woo! Oh, so many birds! And the captain calls it his mother-in-law.
that was a 3-time zoom, by the way.
Oh gosh. It's a video.
Is this a video? It wasn't filming.
I knew it. We made it to the North Cape, the northernmost.
You want to see what the North Cape is yet or not yet?
Oh yes. Also.
Traveling to the North Cape is the tradition of having, Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now.
What?
I think this might be a cult.
No.
These chairs are sus, though. I'm filming you.
We
You're
are
on film.
Thank you. Oh, that building is architecturally very interesting. Behind us is the North Atlantic Sea?
I don't know. We should have checked the map. I wear my sunglasses at night.
Gosh. How long have you been waiting to say that?
A long time.
Yeah. That didn't even occur to me. You're funny.